Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of Faith Lies in Confusion. I'm your host, Godless Reggie, and of course, I have some friends with me again today. This is my friend in disbelief, the multi-talented Tia. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, Red?
Good. Happy to be here. Happy to be off today. I also have the Afro Atheist with me here to provide her expert analysis on the topic. How are you today?
I am good, thank you. Glad to be here with my friends in disbelief.
Right, great. I'm glad to be here too. Unfortunately, my other partner in crime is not here today, Jay, but he'll be back either next week or the week after. This week's episode is called Religious Contradictions. It's one of my favorite topics because to me, religion doesn't make any sense and there's too many contradictions in it. So this time I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to start with Islam, my new favorite topic, right? So let's get right into it. Now, Surah 41, 9, 12, and 229, they kind of contradict themselves. I'm going to pull it up. Let's look at it.
Before you pull it up, Reggie,
Okay.
this is a question for you and maybe Tia as well. So,
Okay.
if we're able to spot a contradiction, what
Uh-huh.
does that mean in the grand scheme of things when it comes to religion? Um, so, finding a contradiction is one thing, but what does that imply for that religion? Does that mean it's should we just turn a blind eye? Okay, it's a confusion. Sorry, it's a contradiction. That's it. Or should we say, hey, hang on a minute. What's this contradiction doing here? Right? So, what does this mean for the believers in this religion, the contradictions?
He can't be all knowing. To me, I always hear people that are followers of Muhammad, Muslims, whatever you want to call them. Oh, the Quran, the Islam is this perfect. That's the perfect religion. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Because they often say that the Bible is the infallible word of God.
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
it can't be um incorrect. You know what I'm saying? It can't have contradictions. It means that whoever wrote it um it maybe didn't transcribe it properly, which means that it's not infallible. It means that it actually is fallible. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't know if everybody can see the screen that well at home, but if you can't see it, I'm going to read some of it to you. If you want, you can pull these up as well. Surah 41, 9 through 12. And like I said, in 229, contradict itself. It says, say first Allah created the earth, and last Allah created the heavens. Surah 79, 27 and 30 says the opposite. First Allah created the heavens, and last Allah created the earth. That sounds very similar to the story of Genesis to me. 1 and 2
Can you
and
give
the
me the
contradiction.
numbers again, please?
Okay. That's Surah Surah 41
Mm-hmm.
9 through 12. Also Surah 229 says first Allah created the earth and last Allah created the heavens. Um Surah 79 27 through 30 states it says the opposite. First Allah created the heavens and last Allah created the earth. It
Now,
sounds like Genesis to me.
which which one are you using? Because I don't have that. I don't. That's not what mine says.
What's it say?
If we're doing, what is it, 79:29?
No,
22.
79. No, 79,
22.
27 through 30.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
27, please.
says uh which is harder to create, you or the sky? Does yours say that?
Give me a second. Let me look on here.
Because I can't. I mean, it's that's too way too small.
Yeah, it
Maybe I
is.
should.
It is quite small.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it down,
No, you don't
and I'm
have to take it down. Just go to the on the top there. Just increase the dimensions. What do you call it? The You can turn it up. Go where the three dots
There
are.
you go. Now go
There,
down.
that's it. That's it. And now you can scroll
Okay.
down.
Okay. So I don't think this is the exact place where I got this from because I don't even see none of these verses on here at all. And like I said before I started the show, I accidentally erased a few things. So I'm gonna
What?
go ahead. Right.
Yeah. What does your 27, 79, 27 through 30 say, or 33 or whatever?
Give me, okay, give me a second. 79. Maybe Allah stumped me today. You never know.
Oh,
So
does Tia have Tia? Do you have a paper Quran?
I'm online at the QuranBible.com.
Okay, because apparently with the Quran, you got to wash your hands before you even touch it. So
I don't want the
no,
what's
seriously, you've got to wash your hands before you touch the Quran. Apparently,
so what I have on here, I'm gonna change the screen so you can see exactly what I got. Let's see.
okay.
I don't
Stop
want the jet. What's it called, Reggie? What's the
the
thing
The
you rub your
gens.
jeans,
butt? The what?
the
The
jeans.
gens.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay. So it says, which is harder to create, you or the sky? He built it, raising it high and forming it flawless. He dimmed its night and brought forth its daylight. As for the earth, he spread it out as well. So that's what 79:27 says. Now I'm gonna reread it.
That's exactly what I have.
I'm gonna read 41 through 9.
Because I didn't see anywhere where it said he did the heavens first and the earth last and the earth vice versa.
Let's see.
But the numbers that you gave me, Reggie, at first were um, it was 79:22. I heard you say 22. Do you want to have a look at that?
Yeah, but I don't remember saying that though. I may have accidentally said it.
Oh, okay.
What is? I
What's
can
in
go to it though.
22? Yeah, go to
Let's
it
see.
quickly and let's see what's in 22.
And that's Surah 79.
79,
Okay.
22.
He
79,
turned
20.
his back. He turned his back, striving against the truth.
Yeah, that's what it says. Then turned his back, striving against the truth. Then he summoned his people and called out, saying, I'm your Lord, the Most High. So Allah, so Allah overlooked him, making him an example in his life and the next.
Okay, sorry. It must have been me hearing things.
So let's go to Surah 49. Let's see what that says. Surah 49, 9. Because to me, like with the Quran, it's hard if you really don't speak Arabic. Okay, so
Yes.
49, 49. Oh, I went the wrong one. 41. 41, 9.
41 or 49?
41, 9 through 12. It
Wow, yeah.
says, oh, let me put it on the screen. Is that what y'all see on the screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
See
I have the same
41?
thing. I'm reading on my
9.
phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Ask them, O Prophet, how can you disbelieve in the one who created the earth in 2 days? And how can you set up equals with him? That is the Lord of all worlds.
And then
He
it
placed,
said, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you go on, you go.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Read it.
He placed on the earth firm mountains, standing high, showered his blessings upon it, and ordained all its means of sustenance totaling 4 days exactly for all who ask. Oh,
Then he turned towards the heavens when it was still like smoke, saying to it, and to the earth, submit willingly or unwillingly.
And they
They
both still
both
living.
responded, we submit willingly.
Mm.
Then it says, so he formed the heaven into seven heavens in 2 days, assigning to each its mandate. And we adorned the lowest heaven with stars like lamps for beauty and for protection. That is the design of the Almighty, all knowing. Is to me reading it, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing this contradiction where it says earth first, heaven second, heaven first, earth. I don't see any of that.
I
Where are
don't
you getting
I
that
don't
from?
I don't see it neither in 79:27 through 30.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not seeing that. So if that was a contradiction, what? I don't see it.
Yeah, I
we can
definitely
move.
don't
We
see it.
can move on. We can move on to the next contradiction.
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Okay. So, contradiction two. Samaritans did not exist in the time of Moses. So let's pull that up.
And this is still the Quran.
hmm
What verse, sir? Is it Sarah?
Yes, it's Surah 20:85 refers to the Samaritan man being with Moses. However, the Samaritan people didn't exist there. The Samaritans are the descendants of those Hebrews who settled in northern Israel. But at the time of Moses, the Hebrews had not yet even entered Israel, let alone northern Israel. So let's go to the exact verse. Sarah 20:85.
In the meantime, if you're watching, please make sure to give the stream a thumbs up. Make sure to follow Godless Reggie. Tia's links. I'm home. I'm sure, Reggie, you put the links in the chat. So yeah, make sure that you give the stream a thumbs up. Thank you.
Okay. So
Follow, like, subscribe, hit that notification button.
There
what
you
it,
go.
what it says is Allah responded, we have indeed tested your people in your absence, and the Samari has led them astray. So again, if that's what it's saying, Samaritans didn't even exist in the time of Moses. I don't really see how you can even speak of Samari. But again, to me, Islam doesn't make sense, even when it's just talking normal. Like if it says like to open the door, it's a long, drawn out fucking paragraph that don't make no goddamn sense to me. So I'm gonna move on to the third contradiction. It's in 96:2. Created man out of a mere cloth of blood. Then he states, we created man from sounding clay, from mud molded into shape. Then he says, he has created man from a sperm drop, and behold, this same man becomes an open disputer. So that first verse, 96, is going to be 96:2. I'm going to pull it up. And in this one, for whoever doesn't understand it, we couldn't have been made out of all them different damn things. I mean, come on now. 96, verse 2. Okay. Can y'all see it on the screen?
Hmm.
Where it says, created man from a clinging clot. So,
I'm sorry to laugh. We just think about this. We created humans from a clinging clot.
From a clinging
Like
cloud.
like
obvious.
like like the God of this religion thought it a good a good information, right? He thought this is good information. Angel Jibril, hello, come over here. Can you run down quickly? Right? So the angel has to make it past all the seven heavens, go down to the cave and go find the prophet and say, we we created humans from clinging cloth. Like,
I'm trying to get to
He,
verse
because
59 too.
wait.
I'm
Because he
sorry.
because he's God, correct? He made the heavens and the earth, but he couldn't just make a human. He couldn't just say, "Let there be," and there was.
Right.
He had to make them out of clean pottery.
Clinging cloth.
He couldn't
I
just
re-
say, "Let there be."
I mean, that
I
cloth
just
was clinging though.
It was clinging.
Sorry, Reggie. That cloth was clinging.
I just wish y'all could see what's in my mind, how I'm thinking of what a clean pot looks like. Like a just little
We
something
go nuts,
dangling around.
Reggie. I'm like, what
The
is
cloth was
that? What
The
is
fuck
clinging.
is this thing?
it even?
The cloth was clinging. Oh man.
It sounds
The
disgusting.
cloth. Clinging
Unbelievable.
cloth. Mm-mm-mm.
It definitely sounds disgusting. But 359 Quran says, indeed, the example of Jesus in the sight of Allah is like of Adam. He created him from dust, then said to him, be, and he was. This shit just is so fucking stupid. It just irritates me. Like, how could people believe any of this shit? Like,
That's a
like,
good question.
Because you
And
had to
and
have the
Reggie,
dust in the clinging pot. Because without the dust in the clinging pot, I don't know.
Reggie,
oh,
the problem with the people who believe this is they're not even trying to entertain any sort of opposition. They believe it hook, line, and sinker. They not even they've been told that you see that book, the Quran, you're to believe that as though this was God. This was God. God spoke those words in there. You are not to doubt any of this shit. No. So yeah,
Oh yeah. I mean, you'll have scholars that will, scholars that will go at length to debate this. The reason why they had to have the clean pot. The reason why he had to have that.
God.
They'll have a whole hour segment just on debating that alone.
God.
I click it.
No,
Like,
they
I'm
will
not
tell
letting
you.
that go.
They'll give you a whole scientific theory about this clinging cloth.
That's kind of like the jinns. I heard somebody tell me one day, right? Because I was clowning them. They was Muslim about jinn. They like, no, the reason why they did that is because the point of the story is they didn't want you to stay in the bathroom too long because they knew that there was infectious diseases in there, and that's the way that they
Can
wanted
you
to teach
imagine?
it to you because they didn't know what germs were. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that
Okay, so
shit.
here's the question that you should have said. Then who created infectious diseases?
I'm sure somebody else did because I wasn't the only one
Let,
that was
let's
on his ass.
You wouldn't get an infection disease if your God didn't create them.
Right? Like, yeah, they didn't have a word for germs back in those days. Okay, but you thought of the word jinn though. The fuck? That's why I said weed and Islam do not go together.
It's the genes. No, godless Georgie. That's the genes. They're coming for you. He's talked about the genes so much. At this point, the genes are getting ready to come for you.
Yeah, he's fixated on the jazz. But
He is. He just. He
Christianity
loves the
has the
genes.
same thing. They got the holy water, and they got the oil that they anoint you with, and they got the cloths that you can buy. They got the same bullshit.
Check this out, Tia. Guess what I found out yesterday? Unbeknownst to me, right? Muslims is not the only people that believe in jinns. They're not. Like, as soon as the dude said something, what did he say? I forget what he said, but I knew. Wait, well, I thought I knew when he said something about jinns or something that we associate with Islam and shit. I'm like, oh yeah, you scared of them jinns? I know you a Muslim. And he was like, he's a Catholic. He said he was like Irish or something Catholic, and he said that they believe in the jinns too. I'm like, man,
But
bro, you got
really,
too
it's
much
not
time in your hand.
superstition. Isn't that really
Yeah,
superstition?
yeah,
Mm-hmm,
that's what it is.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That's what it is. That's what it is. and I was really surprised because he was a, well, I don't know what he was. He sounded like a white man, and I always associate superstition and all that with black people. You know what I'm saying? But he was telling me like, yeah, he was Catholic and he was scared of the jinns too. I'm like, come on, bro. Like this is craziness. Like
Yeah, unbelievable.
Hmm.
now, my next one with Islam is the topic about alcohol. So there's a lot of different interpretations of the Quran because it's written in Arabic. So what I have may not be the exact translation. What I have written here in 590, it says, "O ye who believe, intoxicants and gambling, dedication of stones, and divination by arrows are an abomination of Satan's handwork. Eschew such abomination that ye may prosper." Then it says in 83, 22 through 25, Quran, "Truly the righteous will be blessed. On thrones of dignity will they command a sight of all things that will recognize in their faces beaming brightness of bliss. Their thirst will be slacked with pure wine sealed." So, my interpretation of the last part was their thirst will be quenched with wine or something that tastes good. But in 5090, it's saying intoxicants and gambling are not acceptable. Most, well, I ain't gonna say most. That's not true. Some Muslims that I've seen in foreign countries, they're against alcohol. Every Muslim I know here is a damn drunk. So I don't know.
And as I mean, as a Christian, what they will tell you is that it's okay to drink, but it's not okay to be intoxicated. That's where they draw the line.
Trying to see if I can pull this up.
Because they'll say God even turned water into wine. So it's okay to drink. It's just not okay to be overcome by drink.
Can y'all see it on the screen?
Hmm.
Okay, so it says, "O believers, intoxicants, gamblings, idols, and drawing lots for decisions are all evil of Satan's handiwork. So shun them, so you may be successful."
So I'm just going to tell you right now. I mean, I know this is the Quran, and I know this is for Muslims, but intoxicants in Christianity means drunk, in a drunken state. That means intoxicated. That doesn't mean that you're just a person who gets up and has a glass of wine, or drinks a glass of wine at dinner or something. They'll quickly just make a distinction between the two.
And
How you
can
feel,
I
Afro?
just say, do you know about how the verse for alcohol came down? Because
No.
most of these verses, the idea is um, when something happened at the time, then Allah would send the angel down to give verses, telling them what to do next. And the once upon a time, they used to drink alcohol before the prophet. They used to drink alcohol, and his bodies would come into the mosque when it was time to pray. They would come in drunk. They would come in just, completely wasted and all over the place. And the prophet didn't like this at all. He didn't like it. And not long after, a Quran verse was sent down saying you not to drink. But before then, they were coming to the mosque completely drunk. So yeah, I mean, Islam is you just this religion just comes along, and okay, we don't like people misbehaving when they drink, and so for that reason, stop drinking,
Yeah, we're
right?
gonna make a rule. We're gonna write it down and make a rule. Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna say that Allah said it.
Yeah, no, Allah said it. Yeah, of course. And hey, get woke. Because
Uh,
there's Gerwalk is giving some, because Gerwalk is quite clued up when it comes to Islam. He's saying a super majority of Muslims do not believe alcohol is permissible. A small minority might believe a certain amount of alcohol is permissible. So I think it depends on what Muslim you're talking to.
oh, absolutely. Because one thing I always say about our people is we take something that's somebody else, put some seasoning salt on that shit, and it's ours. We made it up.
Mm,
Just like, okay, like when you see people in church catching the Holy Ghost doing that river dancing, we think that black people made that up. No, the fuck they didn't. No, they
no.
didn't. You know what I mean? It just looked like it because it's through our lenses. So when I'm saying about the Muslims and drinking, the Muslims here that I know, that's from the hood. Them motherfuckers drink. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers drink. Period. That's not one of their commandments. That's not no haram. There ain't no drinking gin. Ain't no little
do,
drunk shaitan or whatever the fuck. Them motherfuckers drink. So
do they eat pork too?
nah, they don't eat pork.
Okay.
They don't eat pork, but shit, bring some bring some
Pork is
vodka.
pushing it. Pork is pushing it. Pork is for a lot of them they'll do anything else, but when it comes to pork, oh yeah, that's a no
That's
no.
it,
It's a
huh?
no go area.
Hmm. But I am aware of the fact that you're not supposed to drink in Islam. And before I deconverted, I always wondered that, from the Christian point of view. I'm like, okay, so I'm reading this. If God has any kind of intelligence, right? Why is he telling people that they should drink through times of sorrow and when something bad happens? Why do you think that's okay? That's probably the worst fucking thing that you can do. I know people with mental problems. Rest in peace to my brother Carmon. You feel me? Alcohol mixed with people that have mental problems or are going through things is a deadly combination. So I'm like, if he knows anything, is this is the all being, all knowing, why is he permitting this? And then I heard, well, Islam. I'm like, well, they don't permit drinking. I'm like, oh, that's the remix. You ain't slick. Moving on though. So my last passage that I have concerning Islam is about a situation with a pharaoh being unalived or not. So in Quran 10:90 through 92, we took the children of Israel across the sea. Pharaoh and his hosts followed them in in spite. I don't even know what that word is. At length, when overwhelmed with the flood, he said, I believe that there is no God except him whom the children of Israel believe. I am of those who submit to Allah in Islam. It was said to him, then it goes on, because basically what they're talking about, because I didn't write it all down, I'm going to have to pull it up. Basically, I remember reading the story from yesterday. What the story is did they spare Pharaoh or not? Because what it's going to say is like one of them is going to say, we did it to teach him a lesson, basically, and the other one is we unalived him. So the question comes is, did he get unalived or not? So let me just go ahead and pull it up so I can make sense of what I'm trying to say. Let's see. 10. And Jerwalk, if you know better than what I'm saying right now, please correct me because I'm not that knowledgeable about Islam. Okay. So it says, we brought the children of Israel across the sea. Then Pharaoh and his soldiers pursued them unjustly and oppressively. But as Pharaoh was drowning, he cried out, I believe that there is no God except that in whom the children of Israel believe. And I am now one of those who submit. He was told, now you believe, but you always disobeyed and were one of the corruptors. Today we will preserve your corpse so that you may become an example for those who come after you. And surely most people are headless of our examples. Now that's confusing right there because it says, we will preserve your corpse so that you may become an example for those who become after you. And surely most people are headless of our examples. So I don't know if that means they killed him or not. Indeed, we settled the children of Israel in a blessed land and granted them good, lawful provisions. They did not defer until knowledge came to them. Surely your God will judge between them on the day of judgment regarding the differences. If you, O prophet, are in doubt about these stories that we have revealed to you, then ask those who read the scripture before you. The truth has certainly come to you from your Lord, so do not be one of those who doubt, and do not be one of those who deny Allah's signs, or will become one of the losers. To me, it sounds like a threat, but let me go to the contradicting verse. That's going to be 17:102 through 103. Okay.
Is
And
it?
17,
Can
go
you
ahead.
make that bigger by any chance, or no?
Yeah, let's see.
Yes, please make it bigger so we can. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So 17:102 says, Moses replied, you know well that none has sent these signs down except the Lord of the heavens and earth as insights. And I really think that you, O Pharaoh, are doomed. So Pharaoh wanted to scare the Israelites out of the land of Egypt, but we drowned him and all of those with him. And we said to the children of Israel after Pharaoh, reside in the land, but when the promise of the hereafter comes to pass, we will bring you all together. We have sat down the Quran in truth, and with the truth it has come down. We have sent you, O prophet, only as a deliverer of good news and a warner. It is a Quran we have revealed in stages so that you may recite to all people at a deliberate pace, and we have sent it down in successive revelation. Say, O prophet, believe in the
Mm-hmm.
Quran or do not. Indeed, when it is recited to those who were gifted with knowledge before it was revealed, that they, upon their faces, prostration. So I guess the question to me is, did they drown him or not? I don't get it. How do you feel,
We did
Tia?
drown who? Who are we talking about here?
Pharaoh. Want me to
Wow.
read them to? Want me to read those two to you again?
Yes, please, because it's the Quran is one book that, hey, my goodness,
It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm
it just
so
the Quran is all over the place. How anyone can make sense of this book, I don't know. But please go on and read it again. Maybe you have to read it time and time again to try and make sense of what the Quran is trying to say. Mm.
okay. So the verses are 10:90 through 92,
Can you put it back
and
up
Mhm.
on the screen?
yeah,
So 1090.
yeah. Let me put the first
Mm-hmm.
one up. And
No, just no. The verse about them being drowned.
they both are supposed to be, but you want me to read the last one? Tia, you want me to read the
I,
last one?
I just wanted you to scroll up two verses.
Okay, I got you. Give me a second. All right, so this is going to be
Guys,
17
please make sure to
102.
tap on the screens and give the stream a thumbs up, please. Okay, so what's this one we're reading?
Is this it, Tia?
17.
Yeah,
Was
about
it?
and keep going down because it talks about them being drowned. Because isn't that the point of emphasis? Whether
The point.
okay, so go to that verse where it says they were drowned
Okay.
or Pharaoh was drowned, but we drowned right there, right there.
So Pharaoh wanted to scare the Israelites out of the land of Egypt, but we drowned him and all of those with him, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the first one, 102 is supposed to be the context. Moses replied, you know well that none has sent these signs down except the Lord of the heavens and earth as insights, and I really think that you, O Pharaoh, are doomed. So that's 17:102 and 103. The first verse I read is 10:90 through 92. And the question is, did they drown him or not?
I,
So, Go ahead.
I think it was a different Pharaoh they drowned. I think it was a Pharaoh who was leading the Israelites through the water. And he's telling
Mm,
this current Pharaoh, do you remember what
right.
we did? Do you remember what we did to that Pharaoh and the Israelites?
Mhm, mhm.
Because he's threatening this Pharaoh the whole time. They're threatening them.
It's confusing to me. But it says, "We brought the children of Israel across the sea. Then Pharaoh and his soldiers pursued them unjustly and oppressively. But as Pharaoh was drowning, he cried out, 'I believe that there is no God except that in whom the children of Israel believe. And I am now one of those who submit.' He was told, 'Now you believe, but you always disobey and were one of the corruptors. Today we will preserve your corpse so that you may become an example for those who come after you. And surely
Oh,
most people are headless of our examples.'"
okay, so just stop right there. He can't be dead if he's telling him what he's going to do to him.
Right, right.
So
That
it had to be a different Pharaoh that they were talking about, and they're telling this current Pharaoh, look, this is what we did. This is what happened, and this is now what's going to happen to you.
to me, it sounds like two different stories. Well, one story by two different people. That's what it sounds like to me.
Absolutely.
It's
It's all mushed together, and it's incoherent, is what it is. Yeah.
right. It's like the one person didn't tell the other person about it. You know what I'm saying? Before he started getting into it. But to me, like I said, the Quran. I wish I knew Arabic just to read the Quran. I'm not gonna sit there and learn it because I don't got patience to read right from left. But I wish I did because to me it doesn't make any sort of sense. So I think we'll move on to everyone's favorite topic, Christianity, because to me in the United States we know that religion better than any of them. So let's talk about the Sabbath day. So Exodus 28 contradicts Romans 14:5, and I'll explain how. Let's see if I have it still pulled up.
I went off the screen to have because I was eating before this started, so yeah, went off the screen. I was chewing. Sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
chewing right now on screen.
The only reason why I ain't chewing because I told you the gnats are trying to infiltrate, and I ain't trying to feed nobody else's kids right now.
That's I trying to
I'll give you
infiltrate.
the remedy for that, Rich. It's an easy remedy for that.
The vinegar.
The vinegar and the dish soap.
I just was telling
Ooh,
Afro about that earlier.
you telling me about that? Okay,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, equal parts. I mean, it works. It works very, very well.
It just stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna start with this with the Sabbath day. Okay. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Exodus 28. Then it says, "One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind." Romans 14:5. I don't really think that's the biggest contradiction, but it is a contradiction.
Yeah, it definitely is one. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a contradiction because one is a commandment. So you can't then turn around and say, well, he commanded one day to be holy, and then now you're going to turn around
Right.
to Romans and say, oh, well, it's up for grabs. Can't do that, can you?
So Exodus is saying, okay, we have chosen one day as the Sabbath day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Romans is saying it's up to you.
Right.
It's really up to you what you
Optional.
determine to be holy, right? It says one man esteems one to be above the other. The other one, every day might just be the same for you. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. right? So however this looks like, however you feel, whatever that looks like to you, whatever day your mind's telling you, you go ahead and do that. So that's the contradiction.
Hmm. And that in and of itself is a contradiction because the New Testament did away with the Old Testament. So
Mm-mm.
almost every commandment, almost every single one. I mean, Reggie, we could pick out 100 contradictions just in that alone.
Oh yeah, that's why I did Islam first, because Christianity is too easy for us, because it's been forced down our throat our whole life, so it's easy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, because they're saying that the New Testament abolished and did away with the Old Testament.
and that's a contradiction too, because Jesus
What
said
in
the
the
opposite.
world is that even? Like,
Jesus said the
how can
opposite.
you
So
believe that?
right, and if you do believe it, why you still got that other half? Well, more than half of
Correct.
your book
No, correct.
don't make no sense.
So you're telling me I spent my whole life studying the Old Testament for you just to tell me that I didn't need to do that? I
Right.
don't. It makes no sense.
That's like psych. I just was playing.
But however, they will pick and choose some of them verses when it
Oh
fits it.
yeah. Oh
When it
yeah.
when it
Cherry
fits their
pickers.
agenda, they'll go back and get some of them Old Testament verses.
Right there.
Someone said to me once, a Christian said to me, "Oh, you atheists, all you do is cherry pick the Bible
No,
to prove your
they
point."
cherry pick the
He said,
Bible.
"All you do is these were the words out of his mouth. All you do, you atheists, is you cherry pick the Bible to suit your narratives." And I'm thinking, wait, hang on a second. You didn't just say that, did you? When you're the masters of cherry picking, I
Yes,
mean, if
ma'am.
there were awards given for who was the best cherry pickers, Christians would be up there. Telling me
They'll be like George. They'll
I'm
be like
cherry
George
picking.
Washington,
That's a fact.
Mm,
chopping the whole
Fact.
cherry tree down. That's all they fucking do. That's
That's
all they
a
do. And
fact.
then the Sabbath day in itself is a contradiction if you want to be technical about this shit, because everybody in the Western world, the Sabbath day is the wrong day, right? Isn't it Saturday?
It depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking the seventh day of Adventist, yeah.
Yeah, but the first day of the week is Sunday anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's all a contradiction. It doesn't make no fucking sense. And the first question that you asked Afro when the show started, to me, what a contradiction means is if this is true, this ain't. Bottom line. So either it's all the truth or it's all a lie. I don't have time to sit there and
they
just keep
can't
on.
they can't all be right.
Right.
And
And who am
even
I?
when I was in the church and I mean faithful Bible study goer. I mean I went to Bible study 3 times a week. And
Hmm.
sometimes even taught Bible study. But my biggest question about these days aren't these days no don't these days come from the star gods, the sun god, the moon god, the lunar god?
Yes, that's a
Tho-
fact.
all the days that we have currently, those are from Roman gods, right?
True. Very true.
Correct.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
every language too. In every language. When you start looking at other languages, what they days, the easiest one Spanish. Look at their days of the week. The moon, the
See,
sun,
see,
Mars, yeah,
see,
Venus. So
see.
that's what I tell people. You know what else I tell people? Actually, the way the horoscopes are set up, that's more of an accurate way to measure time, in my opinion, because you can make 28 days, right? You can make 13 months with 28 days, right? I think that would be more accurate. I don't know. I think maybe I'm looking into that one a little bit too much, but I'm gonna move on.
That's for the scientists right there.
Right, right, right. Actually the Ethiopians, if I'm not mistaken, I may be a little bit off, but if I'm not mistaken, that's what they go by, because I know that they're a few days. Oh, not a few days. A few years back from 2024. I don't really want to get into Ethiopian Christianity today because that's a whole nother topic. But if I'm not mistaken, that's what they do. So my next point about Christianity and it contradicting yourself, well, itself, is about the seeing God. because I was always raised to think and to know that nobody has ever seen God. And if you see God, you automatically die, and only dead people see him. But we have some verses that definitely contradict that. Give me a second. Okay, so Genesis 32:30 clearly states, I have seen God's face to face, and my life is preserved. Then in John 1:18 it says, no man hath seen God at any time. So it's one or the other. If one of them's true, the other one is definitely a lie.
Definitely. And good old John, who has no nothing. He has no he ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. He heard from somebody that heard from somebody that heard from somebody else. And then he wrote some stuff
No,
down,
no.
and
Tia,
then they put
Tia,
it in
and
the Bible,
Reggie.
and now we got to follow it. He has no knowledge at all of anything that he's talking about.
None. None
And then
whatsoever.
and then Matthew and Luke copied off of John. So how
Hmm.
much further down now are we getting?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's insanity.
And that's what I tell people, like, why do you believe these stories written by these people that never fucking met him in a language that he never fucking spoke 30, 40, 50, 60 fucking years after he was
Nah,
dead?
facts. Not
Why
facts.
do you, like, how
And
can
and my,
any truth be in this?
and my question would be, how does John know that no man has seen him? How does John know that?
Right. Right.
John don't know every man. How do you know what another man seen and did not see? But it's in the book. It's in the book.
No, but
Uh,
how are we to trust that the thing that these people were seeing was in fact God?
right.
How are we to trust that? You see, this is now when I start to read a lot of these stories, it is amazing how people believed some of this stuff, right? It's like people took people's words at face value. It's like some of these claims must have been very just out of my phone. Excuse me one second.
You
Yeah.
know, you know what
And
kills me?
you're not getting firsthand stories about any of this. This is like
None.
like me telling you, you telling atheist telling somebody else, and then okay, then somebody else finds it years later, and we're gonna write about it. That's
It's
what
the
we're talking about here.
it's the telephone game, basically. These are all fucking myths and fables and folklores and tales. And you know what? One thing that we're not saying about all this, you know how we just added up the
Yeah.
dates, the people. And these motherfuckers was illiterate as fuck. Illiterate as fuck. There wasn't no such thing as school. People didn't have a library, books and shit. There wasn't no pens, paper, markers, color pencils. None of that shit. None of that shit. That's why, like, when I hear, even though I'm going off topic, like when I hear Islam, right? I don't know if you know this or not, Tia, but you know the first thing that they say that God created?
Hmm.
A fucking pen.
One of these.
You have got to be kidding me.
A fucking
No.
believer, folks. This shit.
What?
He did, but see, that's how you know that this. I'll give Islam a little bit of credit. I'm gonna give a little bit of credit, and this is the only time I'm gonna do this. So the reason why they did that is because they know that okay, we read from this, so the only way this could have happened is this shit. We wrote this down first. You feel me? They're trying
I
to
had
go from
enough
other
sense to
shit.
know that.
Yeah, they had enough sense to try to make it seem like it's logical. But if,
Logical, yes, sir.
right, but if you created
Can
this
I can
first,
I
come on.
can I tell you, Tia? Um, Tia, say something. Just say just whatever, anything. Say it.
Anything.
Say, just say whatever. Just say whatever you want. Just say something.
I'm in disbelief about the pen.
Okay. So you see that statement you just made?
Yes.
The pen already knew it before you said it. The pen already read it before you said it. Every action that you're going to do and make and say, everything has been written down by the pen. The thing is constantly writing. And that pen will come and stand in judgment of you on judgment day.
The pen, the pen, it had to be found,
Because
and the manuscripts
how do
had to be
people
found,
believe
and
these
everything
things?
had to be found, but the pen couldn't just write it and make it.
Right. He ain't think about the
How do
trees. This
people believe
motherfucker ain't
these
think about
things?
the sun,
Wait,
the
hold on. Can you
water,
hear me?
the stars, nothing. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make a pen first
Yes,
before
I can hear you.
anything else."
A pen. That's
Oh
yeah.
man.
I didn't know about that. I'm gonna
Oh
have to
man.
look that one up.
Listen, when I first heard that shit, T, I damn near pissed my fucking pants. I said, "This shit is crazy. This is crazy, man." Mm. Woo, that shit crazy.
And
But yeah, I
the
think.
Moors have a Quran too. I've read that one though. I have that one in my library.
Oh man, you know what I compare them to? They the Muslim version of Hebrew Israelites to me.
Oh, okay.
Black ignorance 101 right there, boy.
The Moors Quran.
like
I have it.
these motherfuckers
It's
think
been
they
a
said it.
long time since I read it. And they don't say nothing about no pen now, unless I missed it.
Yeah, allegedly, the first thing that Allah created was a fucking pen. A pen.
Because God needs that, right? Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
God needs a pen.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I
But
think, like I said, I think they did that because we can't. Okay, so we know Moses. Well, it's hard to say what Moses did because he didn't exist. But the story is that Moses wrote the Torah, the first five books of the Bible. How did he write about Adam and Eve if he wasn't there? So
correct.
that's their way of them doing it. Oh yeah, the pen was there first. So when he got it, that bitch just started writing. Y'all ain't
Yep.
slick.
Yep.
I think we
Exactly.
can we all agree that it's definitely a contradiction about
Definitely. That one's definitely a contradiction right there.
right.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna move on about an all powerful God. Okay. So let me scroll down a little bit. Okay. Math, can you see it good or is it too small?
I can see it perfect. Yes.
With God, all things are possible. It states in Matthew 19:26. Then in Judges 1 through 19, the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out the inhabitants of the mountain, but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron. So obviously, God is not all powerful. He can't beat chariots and iron, and he needs humans' help, right?
Right.
So
Correct.
we can put that myth to bed. God definitely is not all powerful. I've already known he's not all knowing, but he's definitely not all powerful. Now, I'm going to get on a very sensitive topic here next. It definitely hits home to me. The crazy thing about it is I didn't even know anything about it until probably I was either grown or close to being grown. It's about circumcision. I didn't even know I was circumcised until I was damn near grown. And that's crazy. But we're going to read Genesis 17:10 about circumcision. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. Then it says in Galatians 5:2, if ye be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. I really don't understand that for two reasons. Well, one reason for sure. I don't see why Jesus will want to profit me anything, and it's not spelling it like profits it of the Lord, just spelling it like money profit. So I don't know
Right.
why. I don't know why the fuck you would want to profit from me anyway, bro. It's sad though. I went almost 20 years of my life not knowing that my meat was halfway cut off. I ain't even know it.
Now, what about Muslims? Are Muslim? Is that do they believe in circumcision or no?
I don't know. I would have to say yeah, because if I had to guess, because their religion is kind of a remix. If you
I was
heard me,
wondering if there might be a certain like a similar scripture in the Quran about circumcision. You think probably?
I would bet if I had to, I would bet that it is because there's so many mentions of Moses, Jesus, and other characters like that in the Quran. So I would think that they follow the same covenant, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, this is like again, it's every man child should be circumcised, and then it's like then you come to New Testament now it's optional
Right.
or not even optional, but not even recommended.
That's
Like honestly, he's like saying, why would you even do it? It's profiting you nothing. Why would you do it?
right. That's what I took from it. Like it means that you're doing it for no fucking reason.
You're doing it for no reason. Exactly. That's how I'm taking it too.
Yep, that's the way I'm taking it. But that's crazy that a whole generation of people um just literally thought that it was a great idea to just cut your meat. Like I mean that's just sad. I wish I could sue for that. For real.
Reggie,
You want that
listen.
extra? You want that extra heavy
Wait,
meat
hold
on
on,
there?
No, I'm
hold
not saying I
on.
necessarily want it, but who thought of this idea? Just one day you just like
It's like barbaric in a way, huh?
cut this nigga dick off. And then listen, you know what I heard yesterday? I ain't saying it's true, but this is what I heard. I heard this on TikTok, in a religious TikTok. They said that hold on, let me make sure I'm quoting it correct. They said that it used to be a Jewish tradition to circumcise people with your mouth.
Ew.
No, they apparently they still
That is
do it
sick.
in some places, and kids started getting herpes as a result. Um, yeah, the rabbi, no, they don't circumcise with the mouth, Reggie. After the circumcision is done, the rabbi puts his mouth to suck the blood off, sucks the blood off from the young boy's
The cut
little.
off part from the cut
Yeah,
off
to
part.
suck, yeah, so yeah, suck the blood out, suck the blood
What?
off. Mhm.
These
And
people are
so
sick.
these rabbis were transferring herpes to these young boys, babies were getting genital herpes, type 1 herpes.
So what is okay? So what is the point of doing that? Do you know?
Reggie, Reggie and Tia, one of these days, I'm going to recommend a show. I'm going to recommend us doing a deep dive in Judaism. See, if you think Christianity is bad, if you think Islam, listen, just a little, I've done a little, a little look, and let me tell you the things that I saw and heard, and ay, 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 listen,
Whoa.
for the women, right? Women have a whole ritual for their periods. After your periods are done, you've got to go and have this a bath. You have to have a bath, right? In the temples, they've got like little pools, swimming pools for women to go and bath because after your monthly cycle, you're considered dirty, right?
Unclean, correct? Yeah.
They've got special underwear.
Wow.
Can I
Wow.
tell you something? Can I tell you something that I now, I mean, it's been a while, but I do struggle. I struggle with the idea because I didn't know. I honestly did not know at the time. I just thought it was the right thing to do. So in Nigeria, right, circumcision is it's everyone is circumcised as soon as the child is born. 7 8 days after child is circumcised, it's the norm. It is the
Here too.
norm.
Here
There's
too.
no I mean I've never seen or heard anyone not circumcising. It's like that's something everyone did. So when I had my first son, I wasn't in Nigeria at the time, right? I'd moved out of Nigeria. And so now the man who came, he came to the house to come and do the circumcision. And usually it's the fathers. Fathers will hold the baby down, right? The father will hold the baby down while the man cuts. And my son's father could not. He could not. He couldn't do it. It was just too much for him. And there was just two of us, right? The man to cut, myself. So I said, you know what? He's my child. And off we go. Got my baby, spread his legs open, and I watched every bit of it. There was no anesthetic. There was no numbing of the area. No, it was just a blade.
Well, yeah,
One
yeah.
of the most barbaric things ever. But thankfully, I mean, I cared for him, made sure, because that was my child, my first one. And now looking back, I don't know how I feel about that. He's 21 now, but yeah, I held him. So I don't know how I feel about that now. I mean, he doesn't think any different. He does. It's not something we've ever talked about, but just knowing that I was the one, but I didn't know. I didn't know that this was that this was going to pose as an issue later on. I thought everyone did it. I thought everyone. I thought it was universal. So I didn't know. I guess I don't know. I might have to come to terms with that at some point.
But I'm sure he doesn't. Well, he probably knows now. But like I said, I didn't even know what the fuck that was. Listen, I'm gonna tell you some fucked up shit. There's some fucked up shit right here. Let me tell you how I found out what that was.
Go ahead.
Oh my
Dipping,
goodness. Just
dipping.
what,
You,
sorry,
Dip,
just
dip in
before you
what?
continue, Gerwog said that circumcision first, oral treatment second. There was a burial in New York about this. Apparently, there was a burial about this. Dredgy, you might want to investigate.
yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But I found out about circumcision and what it was from what we call over here Afro. We call it dipping,
I know
which
what dipping is. Hello.
okay, listening to grown people fucking conversation.
Oh, okay.
So I heard my mom right talking shit about this dude. Just like that motherfucker dick ain't even circumcised. I'm like,
Yeah, try to figure out what that was, huh?
the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? I don't know how I figured it out because I mean, their internet was available in those days, but we damn sure didn't have it, and it was the very beginning stages of it. So I didn't just Google like what the fuck is a circumcised dick, but
Right.
somehow I found out, and I'm like, man, somebody cut my meat, and then I started realizing, oh, that's what they was doing. What was it, Shaka Zulu or one of them goddamn movies? I was wondering what the fuck they was doing. Like, why did you have that hot ass goddamn blade with his pants down? What the fuck is you doing to him? Because I really didn't know. I didn't know that. Back in the day, I had an extra bag and shit on my dick. I didn't know. How the fuck I know?
But some men actually go and do it themselves, right? So I've known a few men who have, as adults, have decided I want to be circumcised and have gone and got themselves circumcised
Oh, okay.
by
Wow.
themselves. They've made that decision to be circumcised.
I'm just
I
That's
know
saying.
someone. I know an Irish man who got with a Nigerian girl, and the Nigerian girl said, "No, I am not touching that thing. Mm-mm.
that's right.
I am not touching that thing.
I
You've
know
got
that's
to be
right. I
circumcised."
saw one and I
And
said the same thing. You gonna get out of here. I don't know what that
the girl,
abnormality is.
the young
I
lady
don't know
said
what
to
that
him,
is. But you
yeah, the young lady said to him, "That
wow.
is not coming inside here at all. You've got to." And he went and had it done.
Is the ugliest thing you ever want to see in your life. Ugly.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. I feel as a man, I need to stand up for my rights. How the fuck is you gonna cut my
Stand up for his
motherfucking?
Oh,
rights.
Listen?
absolutely.
How you gonna cut my dick without my permission?
No, but Reggie,
How?
your
It's
mom made
cut.
that decision,
I
man.
Reggie,
know
Reggie,
You have
Reggie,
a
it's
choice.
cut.
that's some
You
Cut.
have
bullshit.
a choice
Done.
here.
Finished.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Let me make that decision. This is me and my
No,
responsibility.
no, because your
Mhm.
mama, look, you done already heard the conversation. You know she ain't with that.
Right.
She's like, no,
Listen,
my
I'm
son,
Listen,
he
crying
ain't
but
gonna go
Tia,
get no little
Tia,
girl in
crying
that
fucking
Tia,
laughing
Alabama
when I
house.
found out.
Tia, Tia, he should be thankful. Reggie should be thankful that his mom wasn't Jewish, right? Because then the priest would have had to suck it up, suck
Oh
the
God.
and then might have just given you a hairpiece or two.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
This is
to be fair, I mean, on a serious note now, um, you know, we were none the wiser, had no clue at all, right? I mean, look at Reggie. He was a victim. He was a victim of someone's belief, but just didn't even know that he was a victim at all, right?
mhm.
Didn't have a clue. Just 1 second.
That's what I'm saying, Dean. Listen, listen. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. Look at the screen. And that's what I was thinking when I found out. Like, well, what if somebody? Well, don't they do that in these certain tribes? What if they just yanked your shit off just one day? hmm That's some bullshit. But I'm gonna get back to the topic at hand because shit, this conversation about circumcision and all
It
this
took
shit.
it took a detour, didn't we? We went.
Yeah, it did. It did. The next one I'm going to speak about is good old incest, and to me, this one right here is the biggest contradiction in there because it says it fucking word for word. So,
Mhm.
cursed be that he
Can
lieth
you keep
with
it there,
his.
please?
Okay, give me 1 second.
Please, Reggie.
That's better.
Yes.
Cursed be he that lieth with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother. Deuteronomy 27 through 22. Right, and I've had this debate with a lot of people, not about this verse, but about a verse I'm going to read here. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, it is a wicked thing. That's the same thing. In Leviticus 20:17. Now in Genesis, but what was God's reaction to Abraham, who married his sister, his father's daughter? And that's in Genesis 11 through 12. And also it says, and God said unto Abraham, as for Sarah, thy wife, I bless her and give thee a son also of her. That is a direct contradiction. That is the definition of a contradiction. And the reason why it is because it lays out the rules. It says, daughter of his mother or father. There's no way out of that.
No, when it's God's people, when it's God, I mean, it's different, right? You must understand the context, and God had a reason, and you see, you don't question God. You see, God is sovereign, right? Whatever God wants, God gets. So, who are we to question God? It's
Black
the
people,
context,
humans.
Reggie.
That's exactly what they would say for sure.
Hey, Dean.
That is what they be saying. But see, I
Exactly.
never was a I never was aware of the fact that it breaks it down in that exact order like that. Like I never was aware of the fact that
Mm-mm.
it
Yeah.
said father's daughter or
Yeah.
mother's daughter.
Absolutely. Yep.
So you can't say that no more.
No, but think about it. This is the infallible word of God, right? Inspired word of God. So God in heaven, right, went looking for whoever wrote this and said, okay, get yourself up. I want to inspire you today. I want to move you to write my words. And God says, now write. Tell the people. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter or his mother's daughter, it is a wicked. Just uh, a God that is. This is his priority. This is what he is thinking about. He's so disturbed by who's marrying who that he has to somehow find somebody to say something on his behalf. I mean, this is the God these folks talk about.
Right. Right.
And you wonder why I don't care at all about this God.
Right.
His priorities suck.
To me, it shows the stupidity of the writers more than anything. Like, you got to be fucking stupid to write that and then turn back around and write that. I know it was different people, but like, damn, bro, did you even take 30 seconds to read the shit before you wrote it?
No, the people that no, let's not put the blame on the people who wrote it. The blame is the people compiling the books, because they're way more books. There are way more books. Why are we adding books that contradict the ones what we've got already? Find books that don't contradict each other and put them there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you had to been a damn fool to sat there and put that in there. You had to
True,
been. You had
true,
to been. That's common
true.
sense. Especially if your premise is you want people to believe it and this is the infallible word of God. Like, make it make sense to me. At least. Okay. So my next topic is inheriting punishment from someone else. Like, for example, your
Mm-mm-mm.
mom did something.
Mm-mm.
Now you got to get
Mm-mm.
punished for it and all that. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Don't agree with it at all.
Right? Because what my mom and dad did don't got nothing to do with me. So Ezekiel 18:20 says, "The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father." Then in Exodus 25, "I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation." That's sad, Sky Daddy. Like, why do my great grandkids gotta pay for some shit that I did? They're not even living in the same time in the same world. You know what I mean? So I don't see how that's fair. I don't get it.
Mm-mm. It is not, and this is one of the reasons why this religion, or any religion that has this sort of ideas, I'm sorry, just cannot be for me. You couldn't pay me to be a part of this religion, because when you believe in this religion, you have to accept that someone else's you are being punished for someone else's crime. And no, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be punished for anyone's crime. No, you leave me out of that shit. You leave me out of it altogether. And then they will turn around, Reggie, and say that God is merciful.
Right.
He's all merciful. He wants to meet you at your need. He wants to forgive you for your sins. Forgive 70 times 70 times. But then he can't forgive one person. He'd rather transfer that person's crime generations after generation. No, you can keep your God. You can keep all of that. I'm not interested.
Me neither. Like, for example, the Adam and Eve story. I'm not paying the price for what them motherfuckers did. I'm not
I don't
doing that.
know them.
I'm
I
not
don't know
doing
them.
that. Right.
I don't know them.
I'm no relation to them. And to me, one of the weakest things that I ever hear people say is, "Oh, the reason why black people went through slavery is because we disobeyed God and He punished us." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You weren't there, even if what you're saying is true, and it's not.
Mhm. No,
Even
it's
if
not.
what you're saying is true, that don't got nothing to do with me. I was not over there. That was hundreds and hundreds of fucking years ago. I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm not taking an L for nobody else's whatever they did, and then think that I'm supposed to still kiss this person's ass that is punishing me, and then punish people for some shit I don't got nothing to do with. Fuck you for thinking that. Fuck him for thinking that. And fuck all y'all.
And fuck the God too.
Fuck him too. That's what I'm saying. He's the second fuck. The first fuck is the fuck who's telling me that I should care about some shit that don't got nothing to do with me, and the second fuck is on him. Fuck him. That's a lot of fucks in one
and
second,
and
right?
then and then sends his son, sends, because he couldn't forgive. Now sends his son, right, to be a sacrifice to himself.
Right. After he
Now,
come down here and start all kind of shit too, talking about turning your
mm-mm.
father
we're
against
not
father.
doing. We're not. No,
You know what I'm
we're
saying?
not doing that. We are
Man, I ain't
not.
got
We're
time
not
for that.
doing that. No, no
I
one
got
has
enough
time.
problems. I got enough problems. And you're right. That's what I tell people too. To me, religion, I don't got time for it. It's too much shit that you got to do. You got to go to church. You got to pray. You got to ask for forgiveness. You got to feel sorry for your mom and dad having sex, making you. No, 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 no. It just gives you mental problems just thinking about this shit. Because shit, me just thinking that what I just said to you right then and there. If I really believe that
Mhm.
shit, I'd be fucked up all day. Like, damn, man, my dad is so fucked.
Reggie,
He's so fucked
Reggie,
up.
Reggie, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
I have a question for you. So, if you had a child, right? You
Hmm.
have a child, and your child did something wrong to you,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I don't know what for you could be the worst thing a child can do to you, right?
Hmm.
Just think about whatever. I don't know what, but I'm not saying tell me, but I'm saying just imagine your child does to you the worst thing that they could possibly do. And now that deed is done. Now you're faced with that child and you've got to do something about it, right?
Hmm.
So, Reggie, would you decide, okay, I'm going to punish this child now for life. I'm going to do the worst damage to this child. Or I love this child so much. I will forgive, even though I will make sure to point out what they've done wrong, right? We will try and maybe have a dialogue. We will, but just not punish this child forever, right? What would you do, Reggie?
I'm gonna speak my mind first of all. Tell the kid how I feel. I mean, it's my child, so I'm not gonna be mad forever and move on. If you punish a person forever, they're never gonna learn their lesson. It's no different
Yeah.
than if you kill a person, right?
Mhm.
What lesson do they learn? Just like I always say when people be like, "Oh, this person won't give my money, I'm gonna kill him." Well, look, if I owe
Mhm.
you some money right now, right? Like say for instance, I owe you some money. If you kill me, you ain't never getting it. I swear I ain't gonna give it to
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
So
It makes no sense.
no, it don't.
Get what says you've got a lot of what to give.
A lot of fucks to give out. That's true.
I'll catch some. You're giving them away, Regine, and yeah, send some my way.
All right, so I want to get on a few more topics. Family relationships. So honor thy father and thy mother. Exodus 20:12. Then it says in Luke 14:26, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yeah, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Yeah, bruh. I don't want to be your disciple. I don't want to be your
Jesus,
friend.
Jesus is the biggest hypocrite that there is, the biggest one. Jesus says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and his mother, he cannot be my disciple. The same Jesus, right? There's that verse where Jesus was talking to the Pharisees, and Jesus was saying, it was something about them not washing their hands, right? And these people would wash their hands before doing anything, eating, and they'd spotted Jesus' disciples not washing their hands. And they came along to Jesus to say, how come your boys are not washing their hands? And Jesus says to them, wait, you guys have a right to talk. You're supposed to be killing your kids when they disobey their parents, and you don't do it, and you're here moaning about us not washing our hands. Then the same Jesus turned around, and says, oh, well, no, it wasn't the same Jesus. It was the God that said earlier on. But Jesus is supposed to be God or the Son of God. Jesus should have known, right? How is Jesus advocating for the killing of people's kids? How?
Exactly. And to me, that verse which you're referring to negates when people say, "Oh, well, it don't say the New Testament. It came to destroy the Old Testament." He's telling you right then and there that the Old Testament say that because they won't listen to their parents, You're supposed to stone them to death, and you're not doing it. So I don't got to wash my hands. I could be trifling as I want because you're not upholding the Old Testament law. This is what this man is saying. That's Jesus telling you verbatim what it is. So it's craziness.
Is Tia, are you listening to it somewhere else?
Oh,
Or
sorry. I'm
we
sorry.
can
Yeah,
hear.
I sure was. I stepped out. I didn't want to miss nothing.
We could hear it.
I,
Yeah.
I, I had to say
Um,
I got a good laugh when I heard you say he is the biggest hypocrite. I fell out.
He
no,
is.
Jesus is the biggest hypocrite. Mm-mm,
He
mm-mm.
is.
And Reggie, do you know about the lost years of Jesus? Right, there's a book about the lost years of Jesus. It is the infancy gospel of Thomas. Do you know about that?
Nah.
Aha, that book tells you about Jesus's missing years from the age of 2 to 12. There's that big
Yeah.
chunk of
Yeah.
years.
Right.
Reggie and Tia, if you go read it, you can find just highlights of the infancy gospel of Thomas, right?
Okay.
Go and check out Jesus. Jesus was a nasty so and so. He was a nasty motherfucker, that thing was. He was a nasty piece of shit. That little child was a demon. This boy,
Wow.
right? Yeah, he was killing children because he had superpowers, right? He had powers. And as young as he was, he knew he had powers.
Now,
And
where is
it's
this
and
based? What's the name of this? What's the name of it?
it is the infancy gospel of Thomas.
Okay.
Jesus had
THOMAS.
Thomas. He'll have toys, and these little kids who come and want to grab his toy. Jesus wasn't having it.
Oh,
He
wow.
just blind. There was one child. I don't know what it was exactly about. Give me a second. Let me find it. Yeah,
Omi Zombie Boy.
Allah
Allah
Akbar.
Akbar. Hamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I ain't gonna lie though. I do want one of them goddamn magic carpets though. I'm gonna see if they got one of them on
What
Amazon.
magic carpets? What magic? Hello, Reggie. Where are you getting that from now?
From
Okay.
them.
Are you
From the
mixing fairy tales?
Arabian
Mixing fairy tales together?
night.
Are you mixing fairy tales together now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got my evil eye thingy. That's the evil eye. Yeah, do you know about the evil eye?
Oh
You should tell her about the evil eye.
yeah, wait. Listen, when she first was telling me, Tia, I thought it was the evil eye was this. I thought it was
Right,
like that. I
right,
thought that's what she was
right.
saying, but no, it's an actual thing. Like
For whom?
Muslims, you already know.
Gotcha. Good. They got a whole lot of superstitions in that religion, bro.
They
Yes, they do. They
listen. They
do.
Oh,
so they
smoke.
so tough. They so tough. But the motherfuckers are scared of every fucking thing. They scared of every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like the one that's talking
Mm-hmm.
shit right now, Omi Zombie. Omi Zombie. Listen. Follow me on TikTok. I double dog dare you to, because I'm gonna have you looking crazy. You'll see. We idiots, but your ass believe in flying goddamn donkeys. You know what I like to call you Muslims? Y'all ain't nothing but some gin fearing P3DOs. That's what y'all are.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm, Reggie. Reggie.
Oh, zombie boy. I thought that was
Mm.
Christians. I thought Jesus was the
You
zombie
hear
boy.
them. You hear them with their full. You hear them with their full chest talk about. In Islam, we don't have an age of what do you call that? The age where children are
Of
determined to be.
accountability.
Yeah, we don't have that. As soon as they hit puberty, then the girl can what? Not as bad. Omi Zombie, not as bad as the way Satan. Your Shaitan,
We don't believe
your
in
shait
babies.
every morning. every morning Muslims have to
Satan doesn't exist, babe.
Right.
no, every morning Muslims have to put water in their nose to wash off Satan from the nose, right? Because Satan sleeps. So Omi Zombie has had Satan in his nose this morning. This morning. Overnight, Omi Zombie had Satan comfortably sat in his nose, in his nostrils. Then this morning he's had to wash it off. And later tonight, Omi Zombie, when he goes to sleep, Satan is still back up there. And Omi Zombie is talking about he's harming us. At least
What
we don't have
the
Satan up in
hell?
our noses.
Right up here snorting water and shit.
They actually believe that?
Absolutely.
Yes, they do. That's why the stuff I be saying. I know it sounds crazy to you, Tia, but it's fucking true. Like the dude, Omi Zombie. I'm telling you, last night his ass slept on his motherfucking back because he did not want the jinn to get up in his ass. And he's up here talking about we some idiots. Come on, bro, stop it.
So he got Satan in his ass and Satan in his nose.
Yeah. And then when they go to the bathroom, they pray first and they go with their
Mm-mm.
left leg in, their right leg out,
They got a lot of access to all our people, huh?
and you shake the gin all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what Islam is all about. Fuck out of here. Playing with me. Goddamn clowns.
All right, we're going on an hour and 30. I'm gonna have to check out pretty soon. It's,
All right.
it's a bit long for me.
Yeah, it's about time to go. I ain't gonna do nothing but just keep on sparking this motherfucker out. He mad because
And
his ass.
he's not worth it at all.
I know he
He's
just
not
mad
worth
because
it. He's
he mad
got
because
bigger genes to worry about. So
Absolutely.
he just mad because he run around here scratching his ass. You know the motherfuckers don't wear toilet paper. He just sprinkle some water up his ass, so he just walking around just scratching his
no,
ass
but
all day. So he just mad.
Reggie, 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 did you know that their prophet used stones to work to clean his ass? No, seriously, did you know that?
No,
Their
no,
prophet used
no.
stones to wipe his ass. Yes, and I will find it. I'll find it and send it to you, okay, Reggie?
Good.
He used stones to wipe his ass.
I
Yes,
ain't, I ain't putting no
Good.
stone. I ain't putting
Grief.
nothing. Listen, I ain't putting nothing
stones.
hard. I ain't putting nothing hard by my asshole.
I
Nothing.
mean, yeah,
Nothing.
Oh,
he couldn't find
Nothing.
something better.
no stones. Yeah,
Right. It's trees. It's leaves. It's grass. It's
He's a whole
clothes.
and sugar
he's a whole
dumpling.
prophet. He couldn't find something better to wipe his butt with.
That's what I'm saying. I would have been like,
You know what?
God.
Let's see if I can find it before you go. Let's see if I can find it. This thing about stones before you go, Tia.
Well, the key.
And I definitely looked up the ritual of the sucking of the blood, and it's word for what you're saying, Afro atheist,
Jerwalk,
Hmm?
he said, how maturity is defined. I'm immature. I'm gonna be a
about the
kid the rest of
sucking
my
the
life.
blood for the circumcision. I looked it up. It's almost word for word what you were saying.
Exactly.
It's
So,
called Metzitza Bape. That's what this.
yes, there is a name for it.
That's just a freaky ass shit. Some freaky shit. Sucking a bloody baby dick.
Yeah,
He was,
that's
Listen,
wow.
listen. Let me wait. Hold on, Reggie.
Wow.
Suna Al Nisai, right? Reggie, can you please type it? Just type in Google.
hold on.
Prophet used stones. Prophet used stone for toilet. Type that in Google and show folks.
Uh-huh.
The very first thing will come up. Sugar
Stone
dumpling.
for
Is that
you stone
is
for
that
what? Toilet
Miss
paper?
Dumpling?
I think so.
You stoned for
Prophet
what?
used stone for toilet.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I got it. I got you. Wait a second.
And these people recorded all these things.
Let me put my real information out here. Okay. It says the
Can you make
odd
it? Can
number.
you make it bigger, please? Can you make it bigger so that people can see?
Is it smaller
You
now
made
or
it.
bigger?
You made it smaller. No.
I don't know, but I'm gonna read it though.
Yeah, go on.
Hold on. This ain't. This isn't the actual verse.
No, you say you typed prophet used stone for toilet. No, just toilet. Just toilet. No paper. They didn't have paper in those days. So just toilet. There you go.
Is it the story about the black stones?
No, 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 you got it. That's it up there, Reggie. The very first
This
one.
one.
Click on it. Someone has actually put the, yeah, they've put there. It's right there, right? The Prophet Muhammad used three stones as toilet paper. It's right there. It's in the hadith.
But it don't say it
Someone
though.
is, hold on, you're not reading it. Odd number of stones are to be used for cleaning the private part
Mhm.
after the call of nature. It's right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it don't. I
Yeah.
mean, it does say it, but what I'm saying to you is, it doesn't actually say the Quran verse, and I wanted to read it, or the Hadith
No,
verse.
no, no,
It
no. It's a hadith. It's a hadith. Okay, let me read what I've got here. From his father that he heard Abdullah say, the prophet wanted to defecate, and he told me to bring three stones. I found two stones and looked for a third, but I could not find any. So I picked up a piece of dung and brought them to the prophet. One second. Okay. So this is this I'm reading hadith number 42, right? As narrated authority of this is Sahih, by the way. Sahih is authentic hadith, right? Authentic hadith. Um from his father that he heard. No, this is sorry, it's narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Aswad. From his father, he heard
You
Abdullah
said
say,
ass wipe. You said. Is that what you said?
I said Aswad, not
Oh, I thought you said ass
Aswai.
wipe.
I said Aswad.
how
I said
fitting.
Aswad.
How fitting for this story.
No.
Continue.
From his father, he heard Abdullah say, the prophet wanted to defecate, and he told me to bring three stones. I found two stones and looked for a third, but I could not find any. So I picked up a piece of dung and brought them to the prophet. He took the two stones and threw away the dung and said, "This is Rick's." And this is Rick's. Abu Abdur Rahman said Rick's is the food of the jinn.
What?
Now, another hadith. This is hadith number 43. Says that the messenger of Allah said, when you clean yourselves with stones after defecating, use an odd number of stones.
What difference do it make if it's four or three or five?
Then the message, another hadith number 44, that the messenger of Allah said, when any of you goes to the toilet, well, to the toilet to defecate, let him take with him three stones and clean himself with them, for that will suffice him. Ooh,
That's
this
disgusting.
man was walking around.
I just don't understand why they felt the importance to put that in the book. They're like, you know what? I'm going to need to tell them how to wipe their ass with some stones because I don't know. Like, I don't see why. I don't get that.
There's something else here. Another one, another hadith talks about from Ibn Abi Qatada, from his father, that the prophets forbade breathing into the vessel when drinking. Right, when you're drinking, not to breathe into whatever you're drinking from, and touching one's penis with one's right hand, and cleaning one's self with one's right hand. So you're not to breathe into whatever container you're drinking from. You are not to touch your penis with your right hand, and you're not to clean yourself with your right hand. And this is Sahih. This is a Sahih hadith.
I know
Sahih,
why.
because when they say Sahih, it means authentic. This is authentic.
I know why they said don't breathe in your cup while you're drinking. That makes sense to me. You know why?
But how does it make sense?
Because them motherfuckers' breath stank. That's why.
What's Regina? I don't even. I don't know that. I don't catch that.
You ain't never used to go like this when you be picking up your cup, like, no, no, that ain't my shit. No, hell no. No, that ain't my
Yeah,
cup.
but Reggie, you're the only one who gets to breathe that when you're drinking. So you take good for
Yeah,
you. We take a whiff.
listen, listen,
Take a whiff of your own stench.
listen. I don't want to smell
Nothing
my
wrong
shit.
with that.
Listen, I don't want to smell my shit, her shit, your shit, his shit, their shit. None of that. If you smell shit, it's shit. I don't. The motherfuckers didn't have no toothbrushes. See, Muhammad was smart enough to make a pen, but he wasn't smart enough to create the toothbrush. You feel me? So your motherfuckers brush that. Can you
Mm-mm.
imagine 200 years or however long they lived, 60 days, whatever, of just breath and just ass without brushing your teeth? Just smell like
Well,
shit.
and the stones, and you got shit on your hand from wiping with the stone. That's
Right, it's too much.
wild.
There's too much going on.
It's wild.
But what you got going on today, Tia? What you got going on as far as your pod and all that good stuff?
Nothing. Um, Nothing. I'm chilling today.
No, I'm talking
Chilling
about. It
today.
don't have to be necessarily today or in the future, near future.
I got a couple pods set up, but um, I got a couple really good pods set up, but people back out.
Okay.
I don't know whether they get cold feet, they get nervous or what, but they back out.
I think that a lot of times when it's about things like we're talking about now, I think a lot of times people are more worried about what their family or whoever will think.
Well,
But you got
my pods are deep. My pods talk about people's history and background, and things they did that weren't so good, and mine are pretty deep. So yeah, I mean, I understand why they get cold feet.
but definitely follow her at Tia Don J1 at YouTube. Are you on any other sites with that same exact address?
I'm just on YouTube and Facebook. That's it.
Okay. Okay, cool. What you got going on, Afro?
For now, I'm not sure because I streamed earlier today. For today, I'm chilling. I know myself. I might just decide to come back. I'm thinking I might come back here on YouTube. Interesting topics. I've got so many topics that I want to get out there. So yeah, I think I might come back on YouTube. And if any one of you wants to join, it would be nice to have you. Remember, Reggie, I told you I would like to talk about what's her name, um, Juanita Bynum.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I can't wait.
Lord.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Wow.
yes, 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 yes,
Okay,
yes.
so if you're up for that, we can do that later on.
Oh yes, I'm definitely down for that one. Listen, I don't know that one. I might get my ass whooped out in the streets for that, but I don't give a fuck. I'm down.
Ass whipped. Why would you get your ass whipped?
Religious people are gangster. You don't know. You don't know. They
Where
90%
you
of the
mean in the
population.
US? In the US?
Yeah, listen.
Really? Is
In
it
your
that
own
bad?
family, your
Is
own
it
yeah,
that
family
bad?
will beat you down if you contradict what they believe in.
yeah,
Really? Is it that bad?
It's
yeah,
hard out here.
yeah.
Hey, I'm not out
Mm-mm.
here. I'm not trying to convince nobody of nothing. I don't. That's not what I'm on here for. I'm
And the
not trying
people
to
here are
convince
crazy.
them of
Mm-mm.
anything. But they're also not gonna convince me of anything either. You know what
You
I'm
know what it
saying?
is? You know what it is for me?
It would take a
It's
lot
like
to convince me.
I cannot take for a person to tell me what the fuck I'm gonna do or not unless you got some money for me. So it feels like religious people they're like, oh, you better not say this. You shouldn't say this. Yo, God's fake. What you gonna do?
Just like I sent you that thing yesterday, somebody posted
Yeah.
talk about you better honor a Christian or something. Bro, it took everything in me not to respond.
For
But
the
that's
man of
his
God.
post. That's him.
Mm, mm,
Right.
That's
As long
what
mm.
as
he
you
believes. That has nothing
right.
to do with me.
As
I
long
gotta
as you
keep it
don't
moving.
so long as you don't put it on my post. If you
No,
put that on my post, I'm
that's
on
a
your
fact.
ass.
Now
Yeah, I'm
that's
on
a
your ass.
fact.
Mm.
And I kind of want to lure him a little bit to do that. So I can go in because boy, I've been boiling about that shit.
I don't think nobody that's on my friends list can take my mouth no more. I don't think they can.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I think I done smoked them all out. That's what I think.
Everybody do what you want to do, but you're not gonna come to me with no nonsense though, because I will gonna correct you.
Well, I'll definitely be back Sunday. The time may adjust depending on what everybody got to do. I'm gonna try to have more guests here, so you can so everybody can hear their points of view. I think that I really want to make this more educational than anything. So I'm going to bring people that are experts on certain topics, history, science, things like that,
That'd be
and
nice.
people that's watching, you make the decision on you. But I'll be back this Wednesday, probably doing sports, AAA sports. If not, by Friday, I'll be back doing Product of the 80s podcast. Sunday for sure, I'll be back here doing this again. I don't know the name of the show yet, but I'll definitely be back. Catch me next week. Thank both of y'all for coming. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.